Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I want to say shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel who we endure all things for. Shalom to all the Akim, few sisters that believe on Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Until the bitter end, I say once again, shalom. The title says, we are at the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble. It's painfully obvious. You could just tell by the things that are going on, the articles that you read about what's happening in Babylon the Great, which is the United States of America. It's so easily to be seen that we are in that time. It's so obvious. It's like, damn. And then you have so many different things happening internationally, but you also have the things going on that's domestically. And all these things have been said aforetime to gear up whomever the elect are for that very terrible day to be saved from, man. It's gonna be one hell of a time because it's clear that we are in those times. Hey, shalom to Yuanathan, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Barakatah, brother. I just pulled up this article. I saw it on one of the brothers' YouTube pages. And I said, you know what, I want to talk about it because this is heavy. This is very huge. So this is ICE buys 87 million warehouse in Berks County as it plots expansion of immigration detention centers across the United States. Shalom to Mashak, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Barakatah, brother. That's not something to be taken lightly. Everybody knows about ICE. They understand that they're responsible for the deportation that happens all across America. And they're going about doing undeniable bad ways of getting people out of Babylon. And it's gonna get more graphic and even more extreme. And of course, we've heard about all the quote-unquote murders that have been happening since the beginning of the year. Starting in January 1st of 2026, it's just been constant brutality with the people of, well, the citizens of America and their own government, which their own government has a problem with their own citizens. Because if you're not rich, if you're not wealthy, if you don't own any land, you are just a number and a slave to the United States government, which is controlled by one of the worst lawless people, or group of people in existence, who are the nation of Edom, which today we categorize as quote-unquote white people. And they're using ICE to get all of you Israelites who happen to be blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans out of Babylon the Great. And really, it goes deeper than that. They really want to kill you completely. They want to do away with the nation of Israel, but the Lord is not going to allow that. He's already predestined that a small population of Israelites would be saved from the ferocity of what the devil has going on behind the scenes. So let me keep reading. It says, the Trump administration has quietly purchased a nearly 520,000 square foot warehouse in Berks County as it plans to convert such facilities into immigration detention centers across the United States. And the detention centers are not going to be some light thing that goes on. Best believe that they're going to be waterboarding Israel, even the other heathens, but primarily Israel. They're going to be torturing them, doing all manners of wickedness to our people. But then again, our people deserve what happens to them because they have forsaken the Lord and they don't want to listen to the prophets. So woe unto them, destruction upon them. The warehouse, located at 3501 Mountain Road in Upper Burn Township, was sold to the United States government on behalf of the Department of Homeland Security and ICE for $87.4 million, deed records show. The purchase was recorded on February 2nd. And this is recent. This is not last year. This thing is happening in real time, very fast and very quickly. And us seeing these things popping off as the watchmen, we got to be ready to report on the things that are happening, especially when it pertains to prophecy. Because prophecy is going to go forth no matter what. Whether we like it or not, prophecy is popping off the pages. Spotlight PA visited the warehouse, which is located about a mile from I-78 on January 15th, and witnessed about 24 individuals touring the exterior of the building. One man who arrived early to the site that day identified himself to a reporter as ICE, and they're all in there. And they're gonna have a good old merry time with the people who are quote unquote illegals, but they're going after everybody. And not only that, it's been witnessed that people that are in ICE, they happen to be ex-IDF soldiers. And what are they doing to the people in Gaza? Look at what Amalek is doing to Ishmael. They're starving them. They're making them, get the cookie crumbs from the floor that's not even there, destroying their buildings, destroying their morale. We're talking about a group of people who have no remorse for nobody. See, the Jewish man and woman, they don't care about what's going on with the Goyim, who are those who are not Jewish, according to them, even though they're not even the real Jews, but that's neither here nor there. We already know that, but them doing what they're doing over there is something that's going to happen here in America, in Babylon the Great, because they do control the United States of America. They have a strong grip on this nation, and because of all the things that are being reported, you have things that are being talked about with anti-Semitism and hate speech and all these various things that are going on across America, and they have a huge problem with people calling them out. Of course, they're going to go about looking to find issues with people who are quote unquote anti-Semitic. And we all understand that there's no such thing as an anti-Semitic person. It's simply anti-Shemitic. But, they're the people of the book somehow, right? They don't have the correct wording. But yeah. But let's keep going. The property was most recently called the Hamburg Logistics Center, and before that was the site of Mountain Springs Arena, a county landmark known for the rodeos and demolition derbies. It neighbors an Amazon warehouse and the Mountain Springs camping resort. The building is one of at least 23 that ICE plans to convert into an immigration detention facility, Bloomberg reports. The Berks County warehouse could house up to 1,500 beds, and they're gonna do whatever they can to fill it up and have a whole bunch of different people, all inside a very small room and things of that nature. Listen, ICE doesn't care, because again, the majority of the people who are commanding ICE, best believe they've got training from the Israeli soldiers, the Israeli military, from Amalek. And they are very brutal with people they fight against, even though they are cowards, but they are also brutal at the same time. Let's see. And they're not gonna stop with nothing, because the Lord sanctioned that the violence, the turmoil and infighting that goes on domestically and internationally is gonna escalate further and further as we go on about these evil days, man. So, and really, why is that? Is because the Lord wants this to happen because of the nation of Israel, who forgot who their God is. And the prophets and the servants of the Lord have been telling our people time and time again, get ready for the day of trouble, because it's very near. This is right here, Jeremiah 30 and verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. It's going to be a terrible time to be alive, man. It's not going to be a time of holding hands with each other, trying to come up and unifying one another. That's all a false god. It's a false reality. And people really still try and think that unity is an actual thing. Nobody has actually been united in history. Ancient Babylon was completely wrecked because the Lord does not want unity. He wants division. He wants different nations to be separate from each other, especially the nation of Yasharala, which is the Lord's portion. And the days of Israel are innumerable, but our people don't understand that. They want to cling to the heathen and those that hate them. So guess what? The Lord is going to bring a lot of terrible judgments upon our people, starting with ICE, who, again, we're talking about foreign entities. And these foreign entities don't care about y'all. And according to the Jewish man and woman, we're all goyim. We're all cattle to them. Even though they're the ones that are cattle, they're a bunch of nobodies. Nobody wants to be a Jewish man or woman. You're a bunch of nobodies who are imposters that are acting like you're God's chosen people. You look like a bunch of rats. That's what y'all look like. And then y'all want to posture like y'all some big hotshot. Y'all a bunch of nobodies. The Lord knows it, and we can see it on your faces with your big ass noses. You know? If you're the people of the book, why don't nobody want to be like y'all? But everybody wants to be like the nation of Israel, though. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because we got the sauce. But unfortunately, our people that are not in the know, they're going to cling to the other nations for help. They're going to cling to Egypt for help. Let me get it, actually. Salakia. This is... And it's no big deal because, again, we're not here, well, myself, Akim, that are out there in the highways and hedges, we don't care about how our people feel about us and the heathens, because all y'all are already marked every time y'all walk up and y'all just, you know, fiddle by thinking, you know, it's not a big deal what the servants are doing in the highways and hedges. You already marked yourself for death, so if you don't care, woe unto you. We don't care. We're only here for that very small population of Israelites who are supposed to be saved. Shalom to Rebecca Ofer, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Barakatah sister, Jeremiah 10 and 2. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Exactly. Let them look at, you know, the things that are going on that are not important. We're going to focus on prophecy, and of course we're going to match it with the scriptures. But the things that are created by the Creator, Yahweh, you know, worshiping other gods, the moon, the sun, the earth itself, the elements, we don't do that. Because we don't worship the creation. We worship the Creator of that creation. You see how that works? We see, our people don't understand that. And then if they think they're worshiping the Creator, they don't even know His name. They call Him Yahweh, or Yehovah, or Yah, the Most High Yah. So he just means He, is what you're saying. Nuts, man. Isaiah 31, Salaki, I meant to get it. Isaiah 31 and 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. That's our people to the freaking T. You love everything else besides your own God. And when we tell you these things, you snark at us, you laugh at us, you might comment and say, yo, this is nothing. What are y'all talking about? Y'all bugged out. And the thing is, it goes from one ear right out the other, because we don't seek the validation and the approval of this world. We understand that most of our people are reprobates, and the heathens are already internally reprobates as it is. So all we have to do is tell you your judgment and get the blood off of us. Just like this guy, what was his name? Chief Keef? No, Walk a Flock of Flame. He went to GMS, Florida. I believe it's the Orlando camp. And he just started saying, have you ever traveled outside of America? Like, that's supposed to be something, you know, like huge, like a revelation somehow. I think he said, have you ever at least went to 3 different countries? The hell does that mean anyways? Who cares? Traveling, there's nothing wrong with traveling, but what does that have to do with your nationality? You don't even know who you are. You call yourself a Native American. And I guarantee you, you still look up to the so-called white man as your God. And those brothers, they told you who you are. You rejected it. So guess what? Whatever you do with that information is what you do with the information. If you reject it, that's fine. If you comply with it, that's fine. Either way, the blood is off our hands. You know who you are. But if it's up to you as to what you do with that information. Leviticus 18:3. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do, and after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. Yeah, exactly. They walk in abominations. And that's why we're here to this day in the land of our captivity, which is Babylon the Great, our last captivity. Spiritual Sodom, spiritual Egypt, Rome 2.0. You know, we have the information in the palm of our hands. So if our people want to be ignorant, let them be ignorant. We'll allow ICE to do the damage. We'll allow the heathens to come upon y'all and put y'all where you need to be, which is really 6 feet under, because you're the nation of Israel. But we understand our people are not going to understand nothing until death, man. We understand that. And the Lord understands it. Let me get Amos 5:18. They want to joke around like this is a joke. Keep playing. Amos 5:18. Woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh. To when end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness and not light? Even very dark and no brightness in it. It's a very dark and gloomy day. That should be like plainly obvious, you know, to our people, especially in these times where, again, ICE is buying warehouses to create detention centers so that they can torture you and do all types of manner of wickedness, whether it's to rape women, rape men, kill children, torture children, men and women. Everybody can get it with ICE. And then there's going to be more foreign troops from other lands coming here doing God knows what to you Israelites. Because you want to forsake your God. So he's going to show you death by pain, and it only makes perfect sense. I mean, what else is there? What can we do with an unreasonable, irrational people? You know, the information that we got, you know, from on high, is really not hard to comprehend. But, you know, our people are proudly hard-headed, so they don't want to listen to nobody but themselves and what they've been taught from generation to generation. Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Judaism, vain philosophies, false gods. So they're not going to listen to nobody else, especially if they're older. That's a fact. So, again, we got the exposition of the Epstein files, and this year is the midterms for Donald Trump, or Nero in the spirit, to either be removed from office or to continue on for the next 2 years. And if he continues to be president of the United States, and considering that he's in the Epstein files and those who are closest to him are also in there, and already it's all over the internet. It's not like this thing that we had to dig really deep for, which is very bold for Edom to do. And that's why I said there's 2 reasons why they decided to just show everything that is not really everything in the Epstein files, but they've shown a great chunk of what's actually in there, because they understand you people are not going to do shit about it. That's what it comes down to. They understand, and I'm talking about those outside the circumstances. You're not gonna do shit until it actually really gets very serious. Y'all just gonna go back to your 9 to 5 jobs. You're gonna go watch your TV. You're gonna go spend your money on some dumb shit. Slacking for my language. You're not gonna do anything. Or Donald Trump was forced to go into Iran and cause, you know, just basically to go to war with Iran, because that's what they've been itching, especially the state of Israel. They want to get in there and they want to just go in there and cause havoc, because they have a hatred for everybody that's not in cahoots, I guess you can say, with the Israelis and the United States. So that's just me, based on the information I've observed. That's what I believe is going on. So it could be either two reasons or other multiple different reasons, but that's what I believe. But yeah, man, it's clear that Jacob's trouble is right there. It's like it's literally right in front of our faces. There's so much going on politically, economically, socially. There's no way that also the radio frequency identification chip is not right there as well. There's been talks about with Mr. Beast and whatchamacallit, Neuralink, Elon Musk, and chipping people and causing people who happen to have maybe body issues, or they may not have certain arms or legs to get the chip, and then they somehow become like a meta-human or something like that. You see, things of that nature. It's all coming to pass, and it's all being talked about, and this was all mentioned aforetime. And that's how you know the words of the Lord are so precious. Let me get this, actually. Because the Lord said that all these things will come to pass. And I'm going to end it out right here. Psalms 12 and 6. And actually, I've been in Psalms 12 for, I think, this whole week. That's the spirit. Psalms 12 and 6. The words of Yahweh are pure words, as silver tried in a furnace of earth, purified 7 times. The words of the Lord are precious. And at one point, they were even more precious in the ancient world. You know, to read, to hear the Tawawah, to hear the Torah being spoken of, hear the prophecies. You know, it was very serious at one point, the scriptures, but now it's a joke to our people. They say they love the Lord, but they don't even read the same book that they claim to believe in. That's all right. They're gonna have to answer in one way or another, man. So with that, I want to say, call Halayim La Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. It's like the water for the precepts, and Shalom.